Welcome back to my no-name channel again. Unusual that I'm doing two videos in a row, 2 days in a row doing a video, but apologies for yesterday's video. The sound was just awful. I didn't realize I was in a hurry to finish that. I didn't realize how bad it was until I got a message this morning from an old friend from grade school who said, "Oh, you really have to do something about your sound," and I looked at it and it was just awful. And I tried 3 different programs to edit out, but the wind, I guess, was just more intense than I thought. So I'm down on the 3rd floor doing this not upstairs because it's just windy. This is the windy season. The dry season is windy up here in the ocean. But you can hear children crying. This is life in a kampung. And so we're going to try this today and see how this works. And what's up today? I talk about the numbers. I'll explain that in a minute. And then we're going to take a look at some comments from tourism players about the swab test and the money and the opening of Bali. Following that, I'm going to talk about the celebrations for Sukarno's birthday, which was yesterday, 119th anniversary of his birth. And then the last is when will Bali open again, right? That's always going to be the last, I think, until we reopen. And I'm going to put a couple of little video clips that I did. Now today I'm filming on the Pocket because my son has my camcorder, which he's using to make a video of his mother doing Indonesian cooking. And so he's going to start filming a series of her cooking different Indonesian dishes. And so that video will be in Indonesian language. And if you're interested in Indonesian cooking, you should check it out. And I'll put a link on whenever it gets done. So let's take a look at the numbers. Yesterday, I said, oh, well, we only get a case here and a case there. So, of course, what happens when you say something like that? We got 33 yesterday. 33 new cases, yeah. That's, I think, this biggest single-day jump outside of that mix-up with the people thought we had 400 cases. 33 new cases. So, 18 are local transmission, and that includes 2 foreigners who are being treated somewhere. I'm not sure where. I couldn't find the information about that. And check out all the links below too, especially the Facebook link for the COVID-19 Bali update. It's really a good site. I use that along with my traditional Indonesian news sources, and then in Indonesian, and then a couple of English news sources, English language news sources, but related to Indonesia and Bali: Jakarta Post, Jakarta Globe, Bali Sun. There's a number of them. So anyway, so we went up 33, and what have we got? We've got 557 cases now, 371 recovered, 5 deaths still, and 181 active cases now. Yeah, that's right, 181 active cases. So this isn't good. This is, like I said yesterday, it's not over. Not over by any means. And as Bali had its biggest jump, Indonesia had its biggest jump, 993 cases yesterday. taking us up over the 30,000 mark, 30,514. And I have a link below, and there's a photo right here. This is a great place if you want to get a visual. Well, you can get written too, there's text, but the visual of where the cases are in Bali. And so this is it right there. Take a look at that site. I think that's in Indonesian, but it's really basic. And so, yeah, so that's the situation. So when we talk about opening up, we've got to realize that we've got cases coming up on our own. And if we open up and bring in more people, yeah, who knows? And I've seen the people's responses to this COVID-19. They say, well, you know, there's only so many cases, there's only so many deaths. People are working actively around the world to deal with this situation. If they weren't, there'd be a lot more cases, a lot more deaths. So when you say it's just the flu, it's not the flu. Please read up on it. Get the information. You can find links on my reports, on the weekly news, and around Bali and Asia, my peripatetic anthropologist site, and on a number of the resources that I have listed below usually. Okay, so enough of that. Now, so let's talk about opening up. So what happened? So the headline for this story says, swab test cost charged to tourists. Bali tourism difficult to rise up when new normal policies apply. Okay, and so as I mentioned before, these new protocols for the tourists, cleanliness, hygiene, safety, this it's going to cost money. Somebody's going to have to pay for it. Who's going to pay for it? Well, so the tourist at this point, and this has caused a problem already in terms of airlines not flying. So Lion Air, Wings Air, and Batik Air, which are actually all part of one group, have suspended temporarily their flights because of the issue of people having to have had tests to get on the plane, and people don't either know it, they don't understand, they haven't looked it up, or they just haven't done it, or they have the wrong kind of test that they need. And so the airline has suspended their flights. Garuda's still flying, and I think probably Sriwijaya. I'm not sure. You know, we have a number of airlines, but Lion Air is a very popular air, even though its safety record is something to be desired. According to one of the participants in this article, this was from Bali Puspa News. He said that the test cost $2.5 million for the PCR swab test, and that if you charge the tourists that, they have to do that plus the cost of the ticket, which is likely to be more expensive. They're just not going to come to Bali, and Bali is dependent on foreign tourism, and so that's going to impact the number of people coming, he said. It's certainly going to impact domestic tourists, foreign tourists probably as well. The backpacker crowd may be cut down, although I don't know that that's necessarily so bad, considering how the backpackers have become a problem over the last year with some of their antics. So who's going to pay for it? Well, they suggested, one of them suggested, the government cover the cost, because that way there won't be this additional cost for tourists to show up here. And don't forget, we still got all these hotel costs, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, so that's number one for today, or number two. Next one, number three. So the October 20th, the October 20th opening was mentioned in this. Okay, we're going to stay with this. And the October 20th opening was mentioned here in this article by Rajana from the Hot Springs Water Sport Hotel. He's a GM, and I believe that's up in Bali, up by the mountain. And he said he was the one who suggested that the government could fund this. And so, are they going to fund it? Who knows? Government going to have enough money to fund this? Or is this something, one of those things that's going to change, and when things get rolling again, the government's going to forget about it? Once the virus internationally calms down, there's a vaccine, and they say, okay, we don't need this anymore, or the numbers drop precipitously and we go for weeks with no new cases. I could see that happening, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's go on to the Pak Sukarno's birthday. So who is Sukarno? Sukarno is the founding father of Indonesia, considered the founding father of Indonesia. And why is he important to Bali? Well, he's important to Bali because his mom was from Singaraja. And there's a little museum dedicated to her. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. I have a whole bunch of research that I did on this. So I'm not going to go into it now, but his mom was here, so he's considered to be kind of Balinese president. He's very revered here. PDIP, the party led by his daughter, Megawati, is very strong in Bali. And so he was considered the founding father, the first president of Indonesia. Also, he proclaimed the independence of Indonesia August 17th, 1945, from the Dutch, and was key in the development of Pancasila. Pancasila are the five principles of Indonesian society is based on, and those are still considered to be extremely important, even though they're not always followed by everybody, particularly some of the more extreme religious groups here. Our Balinese governor, opened a webinar yesterday celebrating what Pak Sukarno is also affectionately known as Bung Karno, celebrating Bung Karno's ideas and ideals. And he said during the webinar that even though the ideas and ideals of Sukarno are very old, they're still relevant to today's society, still relevant to Balinese society, still relevant to Indonesian society. And he said that the role of Pancasila in Indonesia is still vital. It's still what Indonesian culture and life is based on. And so this is Sukarno month, and happy birthday, Sukarno. And by the way, my son Sam, his middle name is Sukarno. Long story that goes with that, but so Sam is named after the founding father of Indonesia. Okay, now that's really it. It's gonna be long today. This is kind of just to make up for yesterday's terrible wind, and it's windy now. I don't know how this wind is going to come out, how this is going to sound. Even down here in the second floor, it's windy. I may have to just film inside. I like filming outside. I'm going to get a microphone, so I'm using the pocket, like I said, and it's got a mic jack. So you can put a mic, but it comes onto the bottom, and so I'm not sure how that's going to work out with putting this on a tripod then. I'll have to find out. But the mic jack is, well, it's not cheap. It's about $35 US, I think. It's the microphones. Microphones can be really expensive, especially the one that I would like to get. The Rode wireless mic, which I could use. But there's some cheaper ones that I can get as well. Okay, so enough with that. So now, a couple of videos. One that I said I was going to put in yesterday's vlog that I didn't, about this motorcycle accident. And so here this is, and it's very short. I edited this down just there. So you have to watch carefully. This is about 50 seconds. And you'll see a young lady. She's driving on the left side of the road, and she wants to make a right turn, so she just crosses over, and in her lane there's two flows of traffic going, and a guy's coming up, and he passes somebody behind her, doesn't see her, and neither of them seriously injured. She took off. She was not going to wait around, and he didn't. He looked at his bike, and apparently because there was no visible damage, he decided not to chase her, and nobody did anything. This is one of those Balinese accidents. This is why, if you're coming to Bali and you think, oh, cool, I'm going to, rent a bike and like zip around here. Hey, a lot of tourists die here on motorbikes. And the ones that don't die, a lot of them end up, you go down to any of the medical clinics, you see people with bandages on their arms, their legs, their head. It can be dangerous. I drive still, even though I'm almost 71. But, I've been driving here for 31 years almost. And, yeah, I'm used to the traffic. And even that, I really keep my eye out. So anyway, so there's that one. And then a little clip right at the end, just of downtown. Zoe and Masha the bear and Space Boy, my grandson, and I were out yesterday. And so this is up by the main traditional market right in downtown Singaraja. There's a new market being developing. I haven't been there yet. I don't know how that situation is going, but I'm looking forward to going there and seeing what it's like. It's a huge project. Anyway, so this is it. You can see people wearing masks, lots of traffic. So life here is going on like normal. And so when is Bali going to open up? So there was that October 2020 in the piece that I talked about. What are they? Oh, I didn't mention this, right? ASETA, Bali Tourism Association, said that they're ready to open, and so they want to be open in July, and they say they're ready to go. A quote from Fabrina Uliman, who's one of the spokespersons for ACIDA, said, "We're very optimistic that we can make friends with COVID-19, or in other words, we should be friends, even though we cannot be friends forever." Okay. Well, according to the Bali Tourism Association, ACIDA, they have already developed their own health, hygiene, safety protocols, and they're going to introduce these to all the stakeholders in tourism in Bali. And they start with the pre-arrival of tourists, then when the tourists arrive at the airport and the hotel, while doing tour activities, and when returning to the airport to go home. And so they said, we're ready to go. We're just waiting on the government to give us the okay. So are we going to open before October 2020? I don't know. I saw a thing in the paper today, and I'm not talking about it here, that said that the EU will start allowing international flights in July. So we got another month. Is July going to be the month that Bali opens, that the world opens up, that tourism starts again? Still getting a lot of cases everywhere in the world. I don't know. We'll see. So that's it today. Enjoy the videos, and thank you. I'm going to make sure that the sound on this is better today, and see how the DJI Osmo Pocket works to film a vlog, and that's about it. Follow safety protocols, health protocols. Be safe. Wear a mask. Be kind to someone. Black Lives Matter.
Wait, I get an idea.
There, go up this way. Hey, you walk on the sidewalk. Zoe, take the sidewalk. Watch it, Zoe, watch it, watch it. Get on the sidewalk. Sidewalk. Here, not there, here. Well, you wouldn't know you're supposed to stay at home. This is even worse than it was the other day.